Let's talk more on this development. I have joining me Chairman Ondo Redemption Front, Aiyedatiwa. Mr. Ologun, thanks for joining us on the news of this hour. We understand that your group is asking for the governor's resignation. Why so?
Well, thank you very much, Nifemi. We are not just calling for the resignation of the governor. The call for the resignation of Mr. Governor or otherwise his impeachment by the Ondo State House of Assembly is premised on the provision of the Constitution and, of course, the need of the people at this time. The governor had been away from the state for over 4 months on medical leave. And you will recall that a couple of weeks back, he was reported to have returned to Nigeria, where in Ibadan, in his private residence in Ibadan, he hosted the leadership of the Ondo State House of Assembly and, of course, a number of other key stakeholders. And he presented a letter to the leadership of the House of Assembly, notifying them of his intention to resume office as the duly elected governor of Ondo State. But it's quite pathetic and on the part of the people unfair that since this letter of notice of resumption of office was submitted to the House of Assembly's leadership by the ailing governor in his private residence in Ibadan, which is, of course, on his own aberration. The state governor has not been seen or found anywhere in Ondo State to perform the functions of the office of the governor. Of course, it simply amounts to the fact that he has gone away. It's like someone absconding for duty. People of Ondo State are demanding good governance. People are demanding good representation. This is what Akeredolu has not been able to offer because of his absence from Ondo State for over 4 months, and particularly since he claimed to have resumed back to office and he has not been seen anywhere in Ondo State performing the function of his office. And of course, the Constitution is clear that when a governor is supposedly incapacitated to perform the function of his office, he has either of two choices, either to resign voluntarily or the doctrine of necessity invoked by the House of Assembly, and he should be removed from office for the deputy to take over for the smooth running of governance in the state, just as is applicable in Ondo State at this time.
So the narrative on the part of the state government is that the governor is back and is at work. We saw him signing some papers when he returned. Howbeit, if he's not found in Ondo, one would think that there's a deputy governor who is substantive, given the update we have now from the chief judge of the state. Is there a gap in governance really in the state?
Absolutely. It is not just that there is a gap, there is absence of governance in Ondo State.
Are you saying the deputy governor is also not standing in the absence of Mr. Governor?
Is the deputy governor, as you rightly said, not the acting governor. He has been stripped of the power of the acting governor since Akeredolu returned and notified the state of resumption of duty, which means he reverts back to his office as a deputy governor, which put him at the instruction of his boss, the supposed governor of the state. But the governor, after signing a few documents, as you referred to in Ibadan, and submitting that letter to the House of Assembly, that is the first and the only assignment that we have seen him carry out in about 3 weeks. And apart from that, he has not been seen anywhere near Ondo State, let alone the office of the governor of the state where he's supposed to be occupying. So when you have a governor that is untraceable, when you have a governor that has refused to speak to the people of the state and has not been found at his seat to perform the duty of his office, and he didn't relinquish power for the deputy governor to be in acting capacity, which he has been stripped off by the return of the governor, then how do you talk about governance when the deputy governor cannot act without instruction from the governor, and the supposed governor is nowhere to be found to perform the duty of his office? That is absence of governance. And that is what the Ondo people are saying that we cannot continue with. We are saying that you cannot have a governor that is untraceable, that is not delivering on the mandate that is given, and we have a deputy governor that is incapacitated and not empowered by the provision of the law to be in acting capacity to do the needful. And that is on this premise that we are calling that the governor of Ondo State, wherever he is, in any part of the world, should report to duty in Ondo State and address the people of Ondo State to show his capacity. And if otherwise, he should resign, or the other assembly should invoke the spirit of necessity, the doctrine of necessity, and help Ondo State to return back to the path of enjoyment of good governance.
All right, we'll see how the state government, or indeed the governor, reacts in the coming days. I've been speaking with Chairman Ondo Redemption Front, Aiyedatiwa. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much for having me.